Hello, hello. It is Tuesday afternoon here in the east coast of Australia. My name is Linda Dolke. If you don't know me, I'm a demonstrator with Stampin Up, and I go live here a few times a week. And the whole purpose of today is that we've started a new series called Technique Tuesday, where I'll show a different technique or a tip or something like that. And today's is probably more of a tip than a technique. And I was asked specifically to do this one. Hello, hello. Who's here today? I see we've got a good group. Margaret was here. I don't know if she's back yet. Monique said she'll be back because it's 3:40 in the morning where she was. Goodness me. Yes, I don't expect you to interrupt your sleep just to watch me. Shirley, Cindy, hi girls. Hello, Janine. How are you? It's a free day. Yes, tomorrow is my card making day in the Hunter, so I'm sorry you won't be able to join us, Shirley. That's sad. Hello, Ronnie. Hello. Hi, Holly. I don't think we've met. Hello, nice to meet you. Hey, Jody. Hi, Moira. Hello, Jolene in Minnesota. You made it live, yes. So normally I go live at night time. I normally go live at 7:30 on a Friday night and a Sunday night here. But I've started doing an afternoon one because I realized I've been asked by a couple of people to change the time because they could never make the evening lives because it was a silly hour somewhere over in the US or something like that. So, oh, hello. What was for lunch, Margaret? What did we have for lunch today? Hey, Glenda. Oh, yes, you got your sale order in, Cindy. Hooray. So in case I forget to mention it later, we do have a sale on today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So it's the 14th, 15th, and 16th of November. And it's a sale on selected annual catalogue products. So all ribbons and trims in the annual catalogue, all the cardstock and papers in the annual catalogue. And that's all papers. So it's pattern papers, specialty papers, watercolor paper, envelopes, packaging, so not just and cardstock. So I think a lot of people, I noticed that here in Australia the old olive cardstock has already sold out, so I'm thinking that we may have a few more colors that decide they're going to go out as well. So you will want to be quick if you've got particular things that you are after. I wouldn't wait until the end of the sale. So papers are, let me think about it if I got this right, 10% off ribbons and trims, 15% off inks and ink pads and refills and markers and blends and all that kind of stuff, and then 20% off your papers. Okay, and it's full things of paper. The only thing that doesn't classify in what I've just said is bundles of things. So the ink pad bundles where you get a whole family of colors are normally 10% off. Those are not on sale because they're already 10% off. But if you want to get a better discount, you'll get 15% off if you order them all individually. So right now that would be a better deal. A bit more of a pain because you've got to put all the numbers in. But if you were to order the bundle with just one number, you'll still get a 10% saving, but you can get that anytime. I hope that's helpful for someone. Some people might feel that it's worth putting each individual number in to get that extra 5% off. So 15 instead of 10%. Didn't realize it was envelopes. Yep, just about everything paper related, Cindy, is in the annual catalogue is, and I think I'm not going to be surprised if envelopes sell out as well. Not that don't hold me to that. Oh, Janine's asking me a question. Any thoughts on candy or other items to send from the US to Australia? Well, I would think anything that is, it's got to be packaged well, okay, because our customs are really strict about what they let in. So it's got to be something that's like in the original factory packaging. You can't make chocolates and package them up yourself. You can't do that because they wouldn't get in. But things that are not found here. So, for example, there are some American candies or lollies, we call them, not candy. We don't say candies. We say lollies or chocolate. The things that are specifically, like I know my husband, he's from Michigan, so he loves Butterfingers and things like that. So yeah, he has very specific things that he likes. Oh, your order's in. Is that a rude thing you just said there, Margaret? In a nice way? There we go. So yes, we do have some items I think that people maybe didn't realize were on sale. I did put a note up in our team group about all the different things that are on sale. So hopefully that will help somebody who's looking at that. So, hey, Colette, nice to meet you from Missouri. Hey, Sherry and Indiana. We've got people everywhere today. All right, so I'm going to get started and we're going to do a very simple thing today, but I'm going to switch over to the desk phone. So give me 1 second while I do that, to the desk camera, I should say. All right, so let's just put that up there. All right, so what I wanted to do today was show you on Sunday night, on my video on Sunday night, we got talking about how some of the images in the papers and things that are in this catalogue. So right here at the very, very beginning, like literally at the very, very beginning, page 5 in this catalogue is a little bit of a look, just the corner here of the A Walk in the Forest paper. And there's some really lovely samples that have been made with this. It's really cool, actually. They've done a really good job with their samples. And it does show you a couple of things. For example, it shows you that the bear that's in this paper here, right there, okay, that bear punches out with the punch, and it's showing you the punch, okay? And it's also showing you that the trees on that same paper cut out with the dies from the Merriest trees. So if you have the Merriest trees dies or you have the bear punch, you're definitely going to want to make sure you get this paper. Now, next week, next Tuesday, is when they will actually have the discounts on retiring items from the mini catalogue, and those discounts will start next Tuesday, the 21st. So this week we have annual catalogue stuff on sale, but next week some items from the mini catalogue that are being retired are going to have discounts. Not everything is going to be discounted, but some items are. Okay, so just to let you know. Hello, Linda from Las Vegas. That's somewhere, you know what, I'm so sad. Last year they had Backstage in Las Vegas and I so badly wanted to go, but just things, our situation at the moment just did not allow that to happen. And I'm very sad about it because I really wanted to go. It's somewhere I've never been. So never mind. Okay. Yes, Shirley, I absolutely understand. We have to make these choices, don't we? Totally get it. Right. All right. So this paper here is what I wanted to show you, and I have it here. There's something special about this paper. It's called A Walk in the Forest. And the reason that it's special is because $4.25 from the sale of every set is going to go to, in Australia, it goes to, in all markets, it goes to charity. But in Australia, the charity that they are supporting is Anglicare. So just so anybody who would like to know where the money is going, that is where it goes. So $4.25, and that's why it says here on this page, making a difference, okay? They'll donate for every pack sold $4.25 Australian or $4.50 New Zealand to support organisations dedicated to spreading cheer and providing support to those in need. And here it's Anglicare, okay? So it will, maybe if you're overseas, it'll be a different charity that they're supporting. I hope we can make it there one day. That would be awesome. I'm quite sure I will. It just didn't transpire this time. All right, so these are the papers, and so you can hopefully see here. Let me just, here's another tip. This is going to be, I'm just got a piece of, actually, let me get a smaller piece. Piece of pretty peacock, this color, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my bear punch, all right, and I'm going to turn it upside down, which is how I always punch, and that way you can always see where you're going. But in this case, I'm just going to cut a bear, okay, out of this paper, and this is your first tip, okay? So any punches that you have, doesn't matter what shape they are, they could be circles, they could be ovals or whatever, I thoroughly recommend that you make a template out of your scrap paper, okay, because then you can see if something is going to fit. So I can see that this is the perfect match for this stamp, also for this image on the paper, I should say, not the stamp. Obviously the stamps fit, but then I can see also that the paper fits perfectly, okay? Now, if I was to do this with, say, for example, the modern oval punch, okay, and I did the same thing. So this is another little, this is what I call a punch template. You can actually, maybe if you've just maybe got half a dozen punches or 10 punches or however many, go all the way around your cardstock with different punches. And then you can position them and see what punches fit different things. And something worth knowing is that all the catalogue images of all the stamps and everything in the catalogue, all of them are actual size. So if you see, for example, here's the All About Autumn set. I can see that if I wanted to, I could position that there, or, you know, that the autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful sentiment is going to fit in that punch. Okay, even though it's not made for the punch, I can see by having a template what fits what. Okay, this one fits, in fact, it fits better this way, but I can see that this, the colder weather brings us together. That stamp there is going to fit really nicely on that punch. So that's your first tip today, is make yourself a punch template so you know what fits what. And remember that your stamp images in the catalogue are actual size. Okay, so that is something worth knowing. And if you have a punch template, that's really going to help you. All right, so let's have a really quick look at this paper. So this one here, super cute. We've got our bears. Now, the nice thing about the bears on this paper is they're all facing the right way, okay? So if I wanted to do this one here, okay, it's not, I'm not going to be able to reach it because it's a little bit too far away from the edge, okay? But what I can do is I can get my scissors and I'm just going to cut beneath the bear. You can use your trimmer or scissors or whatever you like. And now that I've pushed that out of the way, I can now reach this bear quite easily. Can you see that? And I could punch him out with no problems at all. So let me line him up. I'm just sort of holding the punch upside down so it perfectly matches the image. And then it's going to punch. Okay, and I've got my bear perfectly punched. I haven't got to worry about stamping or anything else. In fact, here's something you may or may not know, is that I don't actually own the Beary Christmas stamp set. I thought about it, but I decided I possibly wasn't going to get enough use out of it for me. We don't have bears in Australia for starters. But if you look it up, let me just quickly find it for you. Here it is. It tells me it's on page 24. Okay, there's the stamp set that goes with it. It's the Beary Cute Punch. And here is the matching stamp set. Okay, so can you see how, and here's another little tip for you. Okay, can you see how all of our images here are on this page, which is like a very light gray, the page. It's not actually white. Can you see that? But the bear, this bear is white. And what that is telling me is because this bear is white, it's telling me that that matches a punch. Okay, the others don't have any highlighting, but this bear does. So he matches a punch, and that's what that tells me. If I go back and look at other images in the catalogue, let's find another one. All right, so another light grey page, and see we have a white star here and a white label here and a white couple of branches. All right, that tells me that there are matching dies for those particular images. The other ones don't have matching dies. Okay, now obviously you can use the Merry Christmas on this same banner, but it's not made for the stamp. Okay, and what I'd love to know is if anyone didn't know that. Okay, so same again, this page here, it's a white page, but this one, if you look very carefully, this actually has like a little bit of a different color and like a highlighted image around it. That's telling me it matches a die. That one does, that one does, that one does, and so on. This one doesn't have an image. So even though, yes, it does match the dies, it doesn't have an image because it's not specific. And this one doesn't either. But you can actually cut this as well with this, but it's not designed to go with it. And so on. This page, the Santas, the two Santas have got dies, so they're highlighted, this one and this one. They are all highlighted, therefore they have dies. And so that helps you when you're planning. You didn't know about the dies. There you go, Marsha. See? There you go. And Laurie said she didn't know either. Whereabouts in the Pacific Northwest are you, Laurie? How exciting. I love that area of the world. It's one of my favorite places. So, see these ones? Got thermoses. The thermos is highlighted, and so is the little rainbow. These ones have dies. Okay, so when you look at the catalogue, that's one of the things that the catalogue images are telling you is what matches what. All right, and it's very, very handy. Just bear in mind that the dies are the stamps are actual size. And if you make yourself a die template or a punch template like what I just mentioned a moment ago, then you will be able to see what matches what even more easily. Okay. Washington State. There you go. Are you near Seattle? I spent a bit of time in that part of the world, so I just love it. It's gorgeous. All right, so all my bears here, as per the one we just cut out, are all facing the right way to match the punch. Can you see that? And these ones. So there we go. Let's put that on the back of this paper. You've got like little Christmas trees. All right, it's very nice. It's good for backgrounds, that one. All right, then we've also got some like little pine needles here and some pretty peacock background with some berries. This one has got that lovely balmy blue design, like a snowflakey design on the back, and some Christmas trees here. This one has like falling snow, and that's the same as this one up here. You can see this one we've already... Now, this one I'm going to talk to you about in a moment. All right, so we'll come back to that one. More of that. More of that. And we also have some stripy paper here that I've been using quite a bit, and that's got like little Christmas trees on the back. It's really, really easy to use paper, this. It's useful for lots and lots of things. Now, you can see I've got a couple of sheets here. There are 2 sheets of each design in a pack for a total of 12 sheets, so six different paper designs. I've actually got more than a full sheet here because this is actually 2 packs that have I've come to the end of one pack and sort of broken open the other one. This paper is causing me a dilemma, and a couple of years ago we had the Peaceful Deer paper, and that was the same. Okay, it had some of the deers going one way and some of the deers going the other way, and I did make a video about this, which I might put that video link up on my VIP page for anyone who's part of that Australian VIP group. If anyone particularly wants it, just reach out, send me a message, but I will put it on the VIP group. Now, because some of the bears are facing the other way, that makes this... Let me find a full sheet. This is a full sheet of this paper. Okay, so how many bears have I got? We've got some bears that are not the right shape for the punch. I'm just going to ignore those ones for the moment, but the ones that are the right shape, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 full bears on this sheet, okay? But 3 of them are facing to the left and 3 of them are facing to the right. Okay, hey, Katrina. Whereabouts? Well, I've been to Seattle a few times, but also went up to the Olympic Peninsula and spent a little bit of time in a town called Port Townsend, if you know it, and Friday Harbour and places like that many, many years ago. Also hung out in, I know it's not part of, it's still part of the Pacific Northwest, kind of Vancouver Island and Vancouver and that whole area. It's just gorgeous. It's magic, magic, magic. I love, love, love it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to be able to use all the bears on our paper. Now, of course, I could fussy cut them. I could do that. But if you were making a lot of cards, who's got time to fussy cut all the bears, right? So this is what we're going to do. First of all, I want to cut out these bears, these ones that are facing towards the left. And as you can see, my bear faces towards the right. Okay, so what I want to do, sorry, hopefully you can see that. Actually, did I say that around the wrong way? This one is facing towards the left and this one is facing towards the right. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to be able to reach them first. So let me go in underneath them with my trimmer, or you could use scissors if you want to, doesn't matter. And then I'm going to cut above them as well. So I'm going to go probably about here, a little bit above. So I end up with a strip of paper like this. And I've got my 2 bears that when you try and punch them out, you can see they're facing the wrong way. Can everyone see that? All right, not correct. Okay, so what we need to do to cut this bear and still use the punch is we need to actually use make a template. All right, now I've got a piece of copy paper. I tried this with vellum, and those of you who know me well and know how much I love vellum will be totally shocked to hear that I recommend that you do not use vellum for this technique. Okay, so vellum is actually going to make it difficult for you to actually punch out because the edges of the vellum, and I tried, so I know it didn't work very well. I'm cutting this copy paper sheet in half and then half again. So that's my piece of copy paper. But you don't, the good thing is, well, number one, I don't recommend that you use cardstock for this, okay? If you use cardstock for this, the only cardstock that might work would be your Whisper White or your Basic White because it's thinner or more compressed. However, I find that copy paper is probably better for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this quarter sheet of copy paper and I'm going to fold it in half. Right? You can use a bone folder over it if you want to, but it doesn't really matter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my punch and I'm going to punch out a bear just out of the middle of the copy paper. Now I've gone through both layers, so I have 2 bears. Okay. And I now and very carefully take this out, okay? And that's why I don't use vellum, because if you use vellum, it gets tangled up when you try and take it out. So, because these edges are very sharp, but on copy paper, it's fine. All right, so now I have this bear and I have this bear. All right, I have 2. So what I want to do is I want to flip this over, okay? And I'm going to bring this one down here and I'm going to put it so it's exactly over. Oh, hang on. I need to take a tiny bit more off. I went a little bit too high. So I'm going to take another centimetre off here. It just needs to be a little higher. All right, so now I can reach it. All right, so I'm going to position this over the bear here and make sure that he is lined up. We're going to make him exactly just like that. Right, so now my bear is in the right place. Move it slightly. I want it to be as lined up as closely as I possibly can. Okay, so happy with that. All right, now I'm going to hold it without moving that paper and I'm going to come here and you notice that we've got the shape of the other bear here and now we're going to go in without moving the bear. And I'm going to bring this in so it matches. Can everyone sort of see what I'm doing here? So I'm going to line that up. Line it up so it matches that hole. And I'm going to punch it. Now I've punched through both layers. And look, now I have a bear that faces the other way that I was able to punch. Does that make sense? Have you seen what we've done? A couple of people going, oh yeah, I figured it out. Yay. Does anyone need to see it again? Does it make sense? All right, I'm just going to cut that off, that piece that I've just cut. All right, whoops. So now I have a bear that I punched out with the punch by using a little template that I set up the other way. All right, so we just flip it over. So this is the way it punched out originally. We flip it over and then we put this in. We line it up and then the one on the back is the one that we're then going to line up with our punch. Now this bear actually goes slightly off the edge. I think I could probably still get away with it. Let me see if I can. And then we'll have 2 bears. Not that I want to, whoops, I've got a bit of paper stuck in there. Not that I need 2 bears for my project, because we are going to make a card in just a second. Now on the video where I showed this with the deer punch, I didn't actually make a card. I just showed how to use it. And so it's only like 5 or 6 minutes long, I think. So there we go. And see, there's another punched bear. All right. If you miss it a little bit, so you can see that one I didn't line up as well as this one. Okay, this one is not lined up quite as well. You can get your scissors and kind of neaten it up if you need to. But, you know, the whole point of using the punch is to avoid having to use the scissors. So, you know, unless it's particularly bad, you probably don't want to do that. That doesn't look bad. Looks okay. You should sing The Bear Went Over the Mountain. Well, feel free, Janine. I'm not going to stop you if you want to do that right now. All right. So did that make sense, what I've just done? So just remember, you use your copy paper. You don't need a very big piece. It just needs to be bigger than the shape of your punch. All right. So I'm just going to pull my bits of paper. If the paper gets tangled up in there, don't worry. It's just one of those things that happens. So we pop it in. We punch it. So once you get used to doing this, it's actually pretty easy. Then we turn it over. We line it up with the shape of the bear on the front. You'll need a strip of paper and make the paper the right size if necessary. And then you flip the whole thing over again and repunch. Okay, so that's how you'll do it. Now, let's make a card. What have I got here? I haven't even planned the card that I'm going to make. But I did, before this started, I did cut one of the trees with the dies out of this paper. So one of these trees. So I've got a tree. I've got a bear that's facing the other way. If I wanted to have two bears, I could. I could have two bears. We could have two bears facing in towards each other. Maybe that's what we're going to do. Maybe we're going to have a bear party. How about that? All right, so I'm looking at this paper and I'm looking at some of the designs on the back. This paper here would work quite well because it's a good background. And the bears will stand out against that background. We could also do some stripes if we think we like the stripes. We could do, this would be nice, we could do the pine needles. Actually, I like the pine needles. I think those might work. What do you guys think? Or if we wanted more of a blue tone, we could go back and use our, but I did do a bear card with this snowy paper once before. So maybe I'll do something different this time. So I'm actually going to cut myself. I'm not going to cut myself. That would be terrible. I'm going to cut a piece here. And I haven't decided whether I want to cover the whole background. Maybe I do. This is 9.5 centimeters. So if you are doing, if you're doing inches, this is in centimeters. It's 13.8 by 9.5 is the piece I'm making. And then I'm going to have a piece that is larger than this. That is going to be the next size up. Okay, so I'm thinking about adding these guys onto here, like so. It looks kind of strange, that pattern. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I just want to. Okay, I'm changing my mind. Changing my mind. I'm going to use crumb cake because it's such a great neutral color. And I'm going to make this 14.3. Now I will give you the inches as well. All right, so basically this is your standard card size. If you are using US letter cardstock, okay, you are going to want to have your 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece here, and then this piece is a 1/4 inch down from that, so it's going to be 5 inches long by, what did I say, 3 3/3. Okay, so that's, and I haven't decided. I don't think I actually want to have. I don't think I actually want to have this whole piece. I've decided to cut this down. And I'm going to cut it down by so you're cutting off around about, I cut off just short of 4 centimeters. If you're using inches, it's about 3, just short of 3.5. Okay, so let's pop this on here like so, and I'm going to use some seal for this. You can use whatever you like. You can use any glue that floats your boat. I know everyone has different glues or adhesives that are their favorite. All right, so this time, now I think I also want to have a piece of gold. I think that would be nice. I've got a scrap of gold left here. So let me play around with this. Let me see. I'm going to taking a piece off here, just a small piece, and we'll make this the same width, so 9.5 centimeters or 3 3/4 inches. Now this is the self-adhesive glimmer that we have currently, which I just love. It's in the online exclusive, so if you're in the online store you will find this stuff. It's 2 sheets of the gold and 2 sheets of the silver paper. If you just run your finger over the edge, the back will separate off, and you just peel the backing off and pop it along this edge like so. All right, so we have a tree and a bear, which is looking rather nice, right? So I'm just going to glue this one straight on. This is a very simple card. Once we get the bear punched out and the tree cut out, there's really not a lot to it. And then this little guy here, I want to have him up on dimensionals so he's going to stand out. So let me put that behind here. Right, now I feel like it needs, probably with a sponge dauber, some brown around the outside. So let me just grab a sponge dauber. I'm looking for a brown one. That one might be okay. Yeah, that'll do. So I'm going to come in with a darker brown. Probably this is like pecan pie. So I'm going to try that. I think that's right. So let's zip around the outside here with this. And it'll just kind of like make it look like the edges are a little bit aged, which is always a nice look. I like a good vintage brown. This pecan pie has kind of replaced soft suede in my mind. And soft suede was always my go-to colour for making things look vintage. So yeah, that's nice. Let's pull this out. You like the bear's facing? Ah, well, yes, you could have one up and one down. That would also make a lot of sense. The stripes are too busy. The trees look better. The pine needles are busy too. They are a little bit busy, but I think we've saved it by having this open area here. And because the tree is on white, I've got a white circle here that I think will work. Now, everyone knows I love to use vellum normally. We could put a vellum piece behind here, which would look really nice. Or I'm just going to start by leaving it as it is. And I'm thinking, what set will I use that's going to go well on this circle? I'm deciding which set. The problem is that I've packed for a class tomorrow and I've put a lot of my sets away already packed and ready to go. Let me see if any of these will work. This one might, oh, it almost works, but it's a tiny, tiny bit too big. And Deck the Halls is definitely too big. I would need to go up. I would need to go up a circle size. Let me look in my box of scraps and see if I have a slightly larger circle, because that's going to be better. See, there's the same size. And that one's way too big. This one is right, but it's vanilla. And I don't think it's... The vanilla would be good. That's the size I want, except that we've got white behind the tree. So probably not. I also have other shapes, but that's going to be too big. Who else keeps a box of useful bits and pieces left over from other cards? Who else does that? I'm just looking to see what else I have. I have a small vellum circle, but that's no good. Is this too big? Yes, that's too big. Oh, this size is better. Now, this is not a circle, but it might work. So let's see. I've got my Tidings of Comfort and Joy here, and I have a feeling that that is going to be perfect size. Look at that. It is. Okay, let me grab. I'm looking for the right size block. I think I might just go up to D. And we can go Old Olive, or we could go Garden Green, or we could go Pecan Pie. What color would you like to see stamped on here? Getting too many? I get it. It's a very big box, Laura, is it? So I'm waiting. The first person to tell me what color I should use, Old Olive, Garden Green, or Pecan Pie. The first one, green, says Linda. Okay, Garden Green, says Jolene. So, okay, Garden Green it is. And we're going to come in here and we're going to use up one of my scraps, which makes me very happy. Ooh. Let me try that again. You missed Crumpet. He was sitting or sleeping right behind my computer right up until I started, and just as I was starting, he left. So, all right, Tidings of Comfort and Joy. Isn't this a nice, isn't a beautiful font? I love that. That looks really, really good. Okay, and that's from the Christmas Classic set, which I've been using quite a bit, and I love it. All right, so let's pop a couple of dimensionals behind that. Now, I'm not going to put dimensionals everywhere because I feel like I want to add maybe some, like some little, maybe like a little bit of a branch or something like that. That might be nice. We could just leave it like this, of course. What do people think? Should we leave it, and should we say that's enough? Should I add some linen thread? Oh, linen thread is something I definitely want to get on today's sale because that will be 10% off, and I use a lot of linen thread. Love, love, love linen thread. It's always something I try and have on hand. Right, so I'm just going to tie a little bow. Let's see. That looks rather good, doesn't it? And then I think we're going to need some bling as well. I mean, that's a given, right? Sorry, those of you who guessed other colors, and I'd already accepted my first answer. So, but I think, you know what? You're all right. Any of them would look good. You don't have to pick, one that is, you know, one's not necessarily better than the other. Because we've got all of those colors incorporated here, you don't have to, you can choose any of them, is my point. All right, I'm just looking for my glue dots. Here they are. Because I'll need a glue dot. Now, here's the best way to use a glue dot for those of you who don't know. Glue dots are so useful because they're really, really handy for sticking on things that sometimes are otherwise difficult to stick. So, for example, the only thing that sticks to glimmer paper is glue dots and dimensionals, okay? Your other adhesives won't work so well on there. But I like using glue dots. I'm just going to pull this out a little bit so that it sits the way I want it to sit. Like that. And we are definitely going to need some bling. So I'm keeping this very simple. Hi there, Becky. Nice to meet you. Walk away, it's done, says Chris. Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to walk away except for the bling. Okay, I feel like we need some. The brushed gold. Oh, and something else, just to let those of you who are wondering know, these star trinkets all sold out and discontinued. So if you love those, I'm so sorry, but they don't have them anymore. So I'm looking at my possibilities. Maybe some rustic dots. What do we think about rustic dots? Because those are a really good, a nice, they should go really nicely with these colors. And I've also got another option would be some pebble path dots here. Those would look good as well. So I'm thinking either rustic dots or the pebble path. Those are my, oh, thank you very much, Becky. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to pop one here. and maybe one here and one over here near my bear. And then I'm going to put the whole thing onto, because these are white, I'll use a white card base. I could also use crumb cake because I've got the edge highlighted, so it would still look nice. But I'm thinking, no, I'm thinking that the white might be the go. So how about I post this card up on my, I'll probably put it on my my page tomorrow, so you'll see it there. I'm actually working up in the Hunter Valley tomorrow, which means that that I won't be here at home, but I always have something posted so that you've still got something to look at even if I'm not around. So this is going to go onto a white card base, and I'm going to call that a finished card. What do we think? Do we like it? All right, you guys. So have a fabulous day. Don't forget about the sale. If there's anything that you're after, anything you need to stock up on. I'm thinking particularly card stock that you're out of, or envelopes if you're low on those, especially this time of year, right? Items that are available right now today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the sale is over. So I hope that you'll all grab a bargain while you can. And have a fantastic day. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.